Every city you burn, I'm gonna build one high.
Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashtarothi, and it is October 9th, YC125, and I don't have a lot of time, but I do have some thoughts. This is the Eve Universe Show! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome if you're new. Sit down. Thank you, Ganai, for 6 months of support. Yep, time flies when you're having fun. All right, before we begin and get too deep into this, I want to say on the surface that today's stream, this video itself, is not the how to run the Crimson Harvest sites. The reason why is because I already did that video. I should have linked it down below. Hold on, now I need to go find it. Gosh darn it. The one thing I didn't prep. Hold on. Yes. Hey, thank you for that too, Ganai.
You have been promoted.
Oh my gosh, Cat. Everything's going wrong all at once. Here we go.
You have been promoted.
Posting it in the chat and editing the description to add it in. All right, let's carry on. So I already made the video that said it teaches you how to actually run the site. It should be linked down below, or a card, or in the stream, various places. Don't worry, it's great, and it's still totally accurate. The sites are mechanically identical until the 6th. Hold on. My bad. I'm confusing people. This is spoilers. That's not this year's Crimson Harvest. I was looking at other Crimson Harvest information, but yes. So this year's Crimson Harvest does go until the 6th of November. Sorry if that was confusing. All right, so I have thoughts. Okay, that's what this is going to be about. This stream is going to be about how this Crimson Harvest is different than the previous Crimson Harvest. Not how it's the same. That's already in the other video. How it's different, reward track and otherwise, including some pretty significant ways that has ramifications for how we may look at events going forward, and even the entire way that we evaluate skins, especially premium skins, going forward. And that is not not clickbait. Clickbait? No, that's bad. All right, it's not clickbait. All right. So let's start out with the simple part, okay? We have a login event. This login event is different than the previous login events in a few ways. The biggest way that it is different, really, actually the most significant way it's different, is that it is 33 days long. In fact, it is so long. I'm covering it up. In fact, it is so long that when it first came out, yeah, I'm good. When it first came out, you could not get the last day. It was grayed out. They had to add an extra day to the login reward track because they accidentally released it for the same number of days. So, but you couldn't get. It would have had to go one more day. So they had to extend it. But that's not even. So that's that's just the symptom. But the real cause here is that we have 33 login days, right? Now, they said that there was going to be the 25. What happened? Well, if you look, on the 25th is the big login reward that they said would be there. 250,000 skill points and 75,000 skill points. Okay? So what these basically are is a stretch goal, right? The reason why these exist, and I've had some mixed opinions about it. Some people, obviously, if you look at this as you have to log in order to get this, like this is somehow feel like you're being compelled to log in when you may not necessarily want to, or it stresses you out that you can't log in because you might miss a day. Those people have some problems, obviously. But the other way to look at this is the fact that I've had plenty of people respond very positively to this decision because they do log in every day, and you get to like day 25 and you've unlocked all the rewards, and now you've got 8 more days where you don't get anything. So at least you're giving people things past the big reward. That's that argument for it. So like it or not, that's the way it is. The skins that we are getting is the Deathglow Remnant skins. I am not sure whether or not these were offered before. I'd have to check, and there's a reason why I'm going to say that. One of the big spoilers is that this event has changed fundamentally the rules of how skins are understood to be introduced into New Eden, okay? Up until this point, there's been some pretty hard, fast rules, and some of them have now been violated. And it looks like it's going to be, that's just going to be the norm from now on. So either way, these are a skin type that has been dropped, or, being used in the event for a while now. I think that they've always been a login reward, so that's not necessarily a problem. This isn't complaining about free stuff, I promise you. But, and you got to understand that what I was talking about is people that are not necessarily complaining about the free stuff, but complaining about the sense that they're being manipulated, okay? Like they feel like this is their way, this is CCP's way of manipulating them into logging in more. And that just doesn't sit right with them, right? So, I mean, it's all a matter of your perspective, right? It's all a matter of your framework. Either way, so this isn't the stupidest part. Let's go to stupid part number 2. Stupid part number 2. Here is the agency. The agency is where you always find new things. And this little carousel here is where they show off the new things. We've got all the new things. We've got Homefront operations, one of the newest features. We've got Paragon agents, which is still a pretty new thing that they're trying to get in people's faces. We got Corporation dashboard, which is something that they've always been here because that way they could so that way they can help push people to corporations because that's one of the main goals about here. And then it just goes right back to Homefront operations. So they don't have the Crimson Harvest in the main carousel. You have to know to go into the encounter section and check this out. In fact, I don't have... Do I even have anything? Is there a charm? Hold on. Events? Yeah, okay. I do have my event tracker on the side, and I can click on that to bring up here, but it doesn't open when I open up the agency, which is kind of bizarre and is a clue. Put a pin in that. However, the other thing about these login rewards is much like the login track, or sorry, much like this is the event rewards, much like the login track, there's tons of them, but there's another critical one. And there's another critical difference between this and previous years when it comes to the reward track. In every previous event that has involved us siding with one side over another, be that Liberation Day or Crimson Harvest or, whatever, the skins that are provided are attached to the distributor or, the side that you join, right? You join Order of St. Tetramon, you get Tetramon skins. You join Crimson Raiders, you get Ironblood skins. So on and so forth. So what we have here is actually the reward track is now identical for both sides. Okay? And this is kind of interesting because historically they've said, there's been verbiage that says that the rewards are this comparable, or I can't remember the exact verbiage that they use, but basically saying like You know, they're effectively the same rewards either way. And then people find out what skins it was, and then they're like, "What the heck?" So this is probably the not so great solution to that problem, which is not make any difference whatsoever as to what side you join, as to what reward you get. So now you just get all these Deathglow Remnant skins, and there's tons of them. And the only thing that joining a faction really controls is where you get your points. You can run both sides, right? You can run both, or all of the event sites and get the loot from them, but only the sides that go after the side that you don't side with. So if you side with Tetramon, you have to go after Crimson Harvest sites. If you side with the Blood Raiders, you have to go after Tetramon sites. Yeah, so the skins are the same. Only decision when it comes to what side you join is where your points come from. The sites themselves are exactly the same insofar as you have War Clone blanks as your primary reward, although they have added bounties to the Tetramon side, which is kind of interesting, although not as significant, I don't think. And then Overseer's effects and bounties for the Blood Raider side. So here's the thing. In addition to this, one of the things I was shocked by this is that I would have expected to be more Crimson Harvest, more Ironblood skins, more Tetramon skins. Tetramon skins were relatively new, right? Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, no. Give me a second. I want to double check something live, which is a terrible thing to try to do. But we're going to swap over to my G to Alt and check something real quick. So I would say that don't underestimate people's ability to spin things in a negative light, even to themselves. It is being ungrateful, absolutely, but internally consistent. Anywho, am I looking for? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can't even get them right now, right? Isn't that what it was? We proved that it was Saint Tetramon skins, right? No problem. Will do. I'm just double checking. Yes, here we go. Look at this. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you understand what we are looking at here? This is a previous year's reward track skin. Reward tracks apply automatically when they are earned. This skin should not be for sale. In fact, if you go here and I show info on it, it is not on the market. Why? Because it should not be for sale. If you read the description of it, what does it say? This skin will be applied directly to your character's skin collection when redeemed instead of being placed into your inventory. Why? Because it should not be a dropped skin. And yet, here they are all over the market. Or, well, the contracts, because they can't be on the market. So that's huge change number one. The skins, the Tetramon, and I presume the Ironblood skins from the previous year's event, and perhaps others, are dropping in this event, along with Artichoper skins and Sorum skins. Sorum skins are, were, hold on. Let's go look up some Sorum skins. Coercer Sorum skin? Crucifier? Maybe not. somebody has been getting some of these Sorum skins have been dropping. I don't know exactly which ones. Sorum skins were on sale in the early days. No, I don't know. They were available in the early days, but have become significantly harder to get, and now they're dropping in the sites. So, Liberation Day 2022 drop Liberation Day 2021 reward tracks. Is that true? Okay. That's not a huge change, by the way. We've always traditionally added skins from the previous reward tracks to the loot tables. How did I not notice that until today? I could have sworn I've checked that before. That's crazy. Okay, thank you for the clarification, Satonia. For those of you who may not know, Satonia is actually, does work for CCP now. So when Satonia corrects me, that's voice of God for the most part. So, however, like I said, there is a homogenization of the track now. And I'll tell you this, here's my dire prediction number one, I guess, which is that given the sheer number of skins on the reward track and in the login rewards, it's possible that they may just not make different skins for next year, right? The track will be the same, potentially, but they could pick another set of skins. That argument is a lot more weakened by what Satonia just said to me. So I'm going to feel a little bit better about that. So let's move on a little bit. There is one big difference between the two different sites that I didn't mention earlier. While the combat sites are effectively identical to what they were before, the data sites are slightly different insofar as the data sites now have additional cans inside of them. I can only assume that this was done to make it so that it was easier to do the hacking can track along with, like without it stepping on itself. The combat reward track is very clean. You're able to get more progress per site doing data sites if the site has more cans. However, that also meant that the data sites for the first day were extremely highly rewarded because they had more cans, but they were worth the same amount. So they cut down the reward per can, but there are now that increased amount of cans. So that is a change to the thing, and it is a slight buff to trying to make progress as a hacker. If I remember correctly, last year or previous versions, it was very difficult to make progress as a hacker in the Crimson Harvest sites. Let's check. Oh, shoot, I can't check real quick. We'll switch back to... Actually, you know what? Let's select a site. I'll select Tetramon. Oh, it's not going to say because I haven't gone to a hacking site yet. All right, well, whatever. I can tell you that the modern gaming market... Oh, nah. Okay, I'm not... Now, all that said, the event itself, I disagree with everybody saying this. The event itself is good. The Crimson Harvest event is the first event that they've ever come up with. It's always it has been the first one to be renovated and given the new tech multiple times. It's been given a lot of love in the past. So even in its even with these minor adjustments or these changes, these are more meta changes. The event is still good. And it's pretty decent loot. Now, it's true that some people compare it to the winter event. The winter event has increased loot. So by contrast, the Crimson Harvest will seem a little bit more lackluster. However, the Crimson Harvest is a very good event, and the people that have been getting into it have been having a lot of fun with it. So there is that. Let's see. Additionally, I do want to point out that normally for these holidays in the previous years, we've had the skins involved with that holiday on sale on the Nest store, right? So we got, Heart Surge skins for Valentine's Day, and we have Malagran Marshlight for Blood Raider, or for Crimson Harvest. So the problem is that this year, There is no Malagran Marshlight on the store. Now, they do have, as they talk about in their thing, they do have this blood-curdling good deal of 50% discount on Omega and MCT bundles for a limited amount of time. Let's just go look at that real quick. Store. Oops, wrong browser. There we go. So we've got 6-month and 6-month MCT, 3-month, 6-month MCT. So, and then 1-month Omega, 2-month MCT. What's weird about this is that, so historically, CCP has done this like, every 3 months, they come out with a 3-month Omega and MCT bundle. MCT is multiple character training. It allows you to train multiple characters in the same account. And so they've always done this bundle, like almost every 3 months, like clockwork, give out a 3-month deal with MCT and Omega. So, you know, I know a lot of people that kind of just rolled on that one in order to be able to have both. Now, couple things about that. First of all, this is not a multiple character training certificate. Okay, a lot of people get this confused. This does not allow you to sell the multiple character training on the market for ISK. This automatically applies to your account. This only can be used by you in order to train your own alts. Now, what's interesting about these is it's the same amount, like it's the same idea of 50% off, which would make it like effectively the same, right? As the 3-month Omega, 3-month MCT. But if you notice, all of the MCTs are actually double the amount of Omega. And hopefully, maybe Satonia can clarify, maybe. But the double MCT makes me wonder, because like, is this designed to be kind of uneven, so that way your MCT lasts for another 3 months and you get Omega then? Or is this actually just force you to have all 3 accounts training at the same time? For like, is this 6 months of Omega with 6 months of both extra accounts or both extra characters training at the same time? Because that's what it reads for me. 6 for 30 days. But can you apply them at will? Hold on. $12 times 30 days for the 6. Okay. But they are like staggered, so your MCT will go twice as long. It's, again, I want to stress, Satonia works for CCP, not in the marketing department. So, okay, so you can do all 3, but you don't have to. That's what I was wondering. Okay, great. So hopefully that's true. If it's not true, please comment down below and I'll pin it or whatever, and we'll get it going. Do not hate on the Satonia if he's wrong. He is guessing based on his knowledge, not the fact that it's under his purview. So, cool. Okay, so what is going on? Why is there no Malagran Marshlight skins? Well, in addition to all the free goodies offered during the Crimson Harvest event, you can also expect to see some frighteningly good deals in the New Eden store and the Eve store. No, that's the wrong one. Where is it? Do they not have it here? Yes. Okay. Fine. I don't have the information here, but Malagran Marshlight are, in fact, Twitch drops now. Okay? This previous week was... somebody remind me with next week's, but while I think about this week's. So Malagran Marshlight, Munin, Tornado, and Macarial was available. The way they're doing it is basically they have a 1-week campaign, but there's like 24 to 48 hour windows for each one. So you had to watch on that particular day or two to get the Munin skin. And then there also was this day 2 was the Tornado with like 500 Evermarks. It was some very minor amount. And then day 3 was the Macarial. And by day, I mean like number 3. Oh, the MER is out. Yay. So next week there's 3 others that caps off in with a Balgorn. You have to watch. Oh, it's Retribution. Yeah, it's Retribution, Prophecy, Balgorn. Thank you. That's this week's coming up. You have to watch a stream. Any of the streamers that are drops, which most of them have the word drops in their thing, and you got to watch them for 2 hours in order to be able to redeem the reward. You tie it to your account. A few things. One, I know that there are some people that have multiple Twitch accounts that are getting multiple copies of these things, which exacerbates point 2. They are literally giving away skins that people spent money on. I will say that again. The Twitch drops now were skins that could only be gotten prior to this by paying Plex on the Nest store. And just to remind everybody, Plex only gets put into the game by somebody paying real-life money to CCP. Just to give some ideas. Yeah, so that Tornado that I was talking about, that Tornado skin was half a month's of Plex. That Balgorn is 390 Plex. I don't have some of the newer ones because things like the Munin was added in later and I couldn't find those exact Plex prices. But you can see here that not only did these cost Plex, but these weren't no 100-man Plex. These are premium, top dollar, purple diamond skins that are now being distributed in mass, in skin form, to people watching the Twitch streams. So let's just, for funsies, let's go ahead and find this. There's the market. Hold on. Here's the market for Malagran Marshlight. So on August, well, they don't sell very much, by the way. As you can see, the volume's very low. So whatever. But the day that it was released, it went from 1.1 billion to 39 million. Some poor sop bought these things when you could have sold them for nearly 2 billion. And as of today, this skin is worth less than 40. So even if you're not willing to watch the Twitch stream, you can take advantage of it. Look at this purple diamond. Do you see the purple diamond? The purple diamond means you had to pay Plex to get it. That's what the purple diamond means. So this stuff like this, that happens to me all the time. Well, yeah, but this is the very first time that CCP has taken a premium skin and then transformed it into a mass distributed skin, right? They've re-released skins that haven't been on sale before and crushed markets. But this is the very first time that they went, hey, you know that 390 million ISK Balgorn skin that you bought and set aside because you knew that people were going to want Balgorn skins? Yeah, in 5 days, it's not worth anything. That's just wild to me. Like, and the thing is that, like, that's really important. What does this mean for Heart Surge skins? What does this mean for Helmut Harrier skins? What does this mean for... what does this mean for Yule Festival, the most expensive, one of the most expensive skins in the game? What does this mean for police skins? Here's the thing. We could very well see it that as we are transitioning to this, if they are working on some sort of like new skinning system, it could very well be that like the skins that we once had, like their value is used up, which is why they're kind of deciding that like, okay, well, time to start giving these out more frequently because it's not going to just be about having the skin. It's going to be about having all these different pieces. This is about how I'm not saying that. No, I get that. Yeah, this is exactly how investing risk works. I'm not suggesting that CCP should reimburse them the skins. That's how risk works. I'm saying that this has this is a huge shock to how we understand how skins are bought and sold and provided in the game. It also is worth noting that you should probably pay pretty freaking close attention to Twitch drops because they are no longer just giving away purple Sinisa skins. Whew. All right. That's wild to me. Absolutely wild. So what does all this mean? What does all this mean? What do I think that all this means? Well, so it's very clear to me that in contrast to how I predicted, I was like, oh, the event system has been gone because they're bolstering it up. You know, we've talked about this before, and it is very clear to me that the event system itself has changed its priorities within CCP. And the biggest clue I have for this is the fact that CCP suggested that they were working really, really hard to make events tie into the plot line. And this does nothing to do so. In fact, here's the curious thing. The harder sites are in the constellations around Egmar, Vard, and Turner, which were where the stellar transmuters were last year, which means this year's harder sites are based on the conditions of the story from last year. What does this tell me? This tells me that the people who are keeping alive this event system, the priorities on the event system has changed. The majority of the people, and in fact, I would say CCP's priority to tell the story through events has been restructured towards telling the story through arcs and ops and these other new event structures that they have, right? But, and so that's where a lot of their main people went, leaving behind basically a skeleton crew with fairly robust events already constructed. But here's the problem. Why not the first few events? Those events were already tied into pretty tightly what was going on in that moment. You know, the hunt event had all the stuff with Esri in it. The obviously the Valentine's Day event had the whole thing with Ore. So it's like they couldn't just flip the switch and do it again with those. But the Crimson Harvest was still distant enough from what's going on that if they just roll it again, it doesn't matter. They have very limited resources when it comes to actually modifying events nowadays. And it's mostly surrounded around the meta of it, like the mechanics of it. And you can see that like this is much more of a team based around structuring an event. You know what I mean? Like I hate to put it this way, but almost like a mobile game event, like an event. CCP has classically been kind of you know, a little bit wonky in how they do some things, including events, right? They've always been a little bit out of step. They have their own little quirks. And what we see is a lot of standardization of the events to be more like what you would expect in the industry, but at the same time, compromises as to like its impact in the game. And now it's officially formally just a like fun Halloween time of the year. This event's going to be available. And we can pretty much put aside the idea that the story arcs will be told through these events. They'll be told completely separately, probably not worked into the event. What does this mean for next year's events? I still don't know. Does this mean that given the extra time, they're going to be able to, you know, change the events enough? I'm not sure. I know that, like, so the thing is that when it comes to dev resources, the most difficult resource is programmers and then art. But like whenever I talk to CCP, like over half the time when, if we're talking about a problem, we basically have no development effort. We can't, every programmer is like, their hours are sacred. Their hours are so precious. They're very expensive. They're very valuable, and they can idle for a long time if you don't give them what they need. So often programmers are working on the big thing. They get allocated first to whatever it is that's going to need the most effort. And so a lot of other things will get, it'll be very difficult to even get a single ticket answered, which is why we see these little tiny things that would be huge things to everybody else, to whatever it is the feature, but you can't even get one person to do it for like 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes, but like 4 or 5 hours, like API updates or whatever, right? So I would expect as little mechanical updates to these things as possible and increase standardization as we see the events themselves kind of go into a holding pattern, as most of CCP's creative and production team are moving on towards ops, event, or, you know, narrative story arcs, etc., which I think is actually pretty good, because honestly, they painted themselves into a bit of a corner with the hunt last year. It's like, well, okay, well, you made this big thing about, now you've justified why there's all these pods out there. Now this year, why do we have all these pods? Are the Guristas just going to annually celebrate the day that Esri Hokusotsu escaped Jita 4-4? That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I think that as begrudging as I say it, like, I get it, and I hope that those events will like, the new stuff is going to be good. I strongly disagree with the idea of giving premium skins out on Twitch, just because of the fact that it is so exploitable that effectively there's no way of controlling it. Like, it's so much worse than just giving every account one, because you can attach multiple Twitch accounts to one Eve account and then just get like as many of them as you're willing to run in the browser. Like, it's anyway. So also, by the way, that along with the developer thing, this is why I think that broadly CCP has shifted into this mode of like trying to put levers into the game. You know, whenever they're redoing these systems, they're putting in additional levers in. Additional levers are, you know, dials that they can tweak without further development efforts. Knowing that developers, that programmers are so valuable, you know that basically when you got them, you got to do it right. And so when you develop it, you want to develop it to be future-proofed as much as you can. Ha, levers or fulcrums, I like it. You got to make it future-proofed as much as you can by making it extensible and abstract as you can. You know, obviously it doesn't usually work, but, you know, whatever. But so that way, later on, if you need to make a change, it doesn't actually require a change to the code base. It just requires a change to the parameters, you know? Yeah, that's what it is. So that is most of my thoughts when it comes to the Crimson Harvest. As I said, if you want to see the full video, oh shoot, actually, hold on. Oh, can I do this still? No, I can't. Damn it. All right, so yeah, I have a Crimson Harvest 2021 video that should be linked down below. That goes over all of the mechanics of the Crimson Harvest, which are basically the exact same as today. And it's even edited, so it's not like a rambly 2 hours or anything like that. You're welcome. So couple bonus things before I bounce. Like I said, it's going to be a short one today, but my son is homesick, and I've got a lot of other things to go on. This week is terrible for me. Tomorrow, I probably will not be able to stream because our alliance has been war decked, and so we got to deal with that. And our fights are literally during my normal stream time, and I'm not going to be streaming that effort. So if you're interested in participating or helping out, please DM me on Discord. We could use some more help. If people are interested in helping defend our high-sec structures, of course, we would give you or your group access to be able to mine our moons if they do survive. But yeah, Pirate has war decked our corp and attacked us, and we plan on either defending or just writing it off as a loss as we're aligning ourselves to be prepared for the invited. If you are interested in joining the invited, we are also at the same time in an Angel space working on mission running and trying to get people standings up, the Angel Epic arc, etc. So if you want to get involved with the invited, we are recruiting still. Please go ahead and check us out on our Discord. You can get to the Discord or apply for the corporation in aderon.org, or at the link. You can find the Discord there. All right. And then also, in addition to that, I want to point out that I've talked to at least a few people in and about CCP who would know about this kind of thing. And so let's talk a little bit about Zarzak before I leave. So you need to get the coalesce elements, and you need to get the 2 pieces, one from a data site, one from a relic site. The relic and data site from wormhole space, those are the easy parts. The coalesce elements require you to go through all 5 of the different hives. In fact, you have to go back to one of them twice because you get the key to the next site in each one. Then you get them all together, you combine them all, and then on top of that, there's only half as many BPCs as there are material. So if you go through and get 3 keys across all of them, you only end up with 15 BPCs, but 30 coalesced essence worth of essences. So it is a giant pain in the butt. It is the only way to get some of these destroyers. However, they did suggest every single time they talked about this. Why didn't it work? Hold on. No. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Yay. Technical difficulties. Where's my bot? Bot. Turn on. There we go. All right. Now. So. It is my understanding that effort. It worked. Effort turning in these coalesced elements into the fulcrum will unlock pieces of the fulcrum early. I have been told by people in CCP that the guns in Zarzak are on now because of elements turned in by players. The reason why they don't want to tell anybody explicitly is because they don't want the blowback or any sort of discussion about how it is trivial because everything turns on anyways by the 14th. But yes, allegedly, turning in elements into the Fulcrum is going to online pieces early. To that end, we are still running hive fleets. We ran our first one yesterday with Dutch Gunner co-leading, but now we're distributing the information to our brothers over at the Beaver Show, as well as, you know, our own guys, so that way we can start running Drifter hive fleets more frequently, as well as doing the standings with the invited. So let's help us make Zarzak open early if possible, or at least see what's going on, and get some cool mecha balls to boot. But yeah, let's see, anything else? Anything else? I had other oh yeah, so tomorrow I have the war. Wednesday I usually have off, and I also have an inspection. Thursday is my only day that I'm probably going to be able to stream this week for realsies. And Friday, my son has off school. So I don't know how this is going to work, guys. I'm sorry for the short show today. But my son has been home since last Thursday. He's feeling better. But he still sounds congested enough that I decided to keep him home for one more day. As long as he promised to let me be able to stream, and he did. Does anybody want him to come in and say hi? I don't want to. Nobody's allowed to accuse me of like exploiting my son or something. If I have him come in, he wants to say hi. Trust me. But yeah. Anywho, okay. Hey Zed, come in, please. Here, come sit on my lap. Oh. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
That's the mic. What you up to?
Honestly, I'm just gaming.
It's just gaming.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some school stuff after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Some math.
Yeah.
What kind of math?
Multiplication with 2 digits of every number, and I'm gonna be solving for x.
Well, Danny says that she's going to be teaching you RAID today. All right. Say bye.
Bye.
Love you. All right. Oh, Raid Shadow Legends is going really well. I plan on making a URL randomizer, or having made. I'm planning on trying to get Isabel to make a URL randomizer for that, as we did with EVE Online. Which, speaking of which, if you want to support the channel, you know, please, thank you for liking the stream, commenting in chat and on the VOD, as well as potentially joining the Convocation of Empyreans or the Invited in game. Yeah, but also there's a link down below. If you haven't gotten the 1,000,000 free SP for your account, every account is eligible for it, no matter how old. If you haven't used it, use the link down below, and it'll send you to a referral link of one of the people that helped make this show and my in-game group possible, which we are here to maximize player engagement with EVE Online and raise the literacy of the EVE player base in EVE. Because that's the thing to me. In my opinion, better players make a better EVE. With all that said, I do want to thank, he does look like me. I do want to thank all of you for coming, watching the stream, hanging out. If you made it this far, 07 to you. You guys are the best. And I want to give a special shout out to my top supporters: Abyssus, Aikawarazu Chan, Arkas Ilring, Belligerent Neckbeard, Black Rose Noble, Dajat Lemmont, Drake, Federation Frontline, Jay Kuhn, Lumi, Midnight Space Monkey, Milk, Not Just Fun, Seeds of Plenty, Serena with No Eyes, Shodanar, Syliana Vel'ash, Tgen Tgen, Nephilim, Grendel, Yantey Lepouf, Zaul Nex, Zero, as well as my Immortal Tier supporters 745 MPSI, Arydanika the Queen, Ebo Elite, May, Malak Starfire, Merc Utan, Nihilum, LM1, Sheesh, and Rid. And you're not on here yet because of technicality, maybe. I'm gonna correct this right now. EFG, yeah, Ganai. I don't know why you're not on here yet, but you are now. And thank you to Ganai for all and everybody else that's here and part of my staff, both in-game and out. If you want to help out with anything, the war, production of the show, in-game efforts, invited, whatever, hit me up in Discord. Links have been linked. But until next time, I have been Ashtarothi, the voice of New Eden, and I'll see you in space. We'll probably look at them MER Thursday. Probably. We'll see.
Bring on the wrecking machine. For every city